though. Oh man, like the title said, I posted a video earlier about a police department out in Georgia that actually um a white man came in there last, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, made threats of shooting black folks, made threats of shooting black folks in 2020. When he walked in, his clip fell out of his pistol, and he left the restaurant. Police was called, and the police allowed him to take a Uber home. I wasn't there, but I'm gonna let you speak to the person that was there, Antrell Jones. Welcome to the show, Antrell.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And that's good. You are talking with Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. You can send your chat in also. And you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Antrell, when I seen this video on Saturday morning, man, it really, I'm
Yeah.
trying not to do it. It really upset me.
Right.
So you was there, I wasn't there, and most of the listeners, they probably wasn't there either. So uh, let us know exactly what happened.
Not a problem. So I am in Atlanta, but this is in a smaller town in the city called Smyrna. And I was at the Doc's restaurant, which is a bar and restaurant, pretty much a hangout spot during the weekday. So this is like a spot you go to hang out with your friends, with your family, play pool, eat a little bit, and mingle. So as I'm at the restaurant, me and my family member were down at the pool section, not knowing what was going on, not knowing anything prior. That's when the guy in the video started knocking on the window, and I wasn't sure. I'm just thinking it's a random person just knocking on the window and just going about their day. They might be a little drunk as they were, but as I went closer to the window, I noticed and heard that he was slandering racist comments, racist names, different things towards me. So I was like, "What's going on?" 'Cause, I've been there a couple times and I never had this experience. I never had this experience in life either. So as I'm doing that, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna take this to the management group and see what's going on with this guy." But when I approached them, they already had kicked the guy out. That's why he was at the window, for doing the similar things in the restaurant, to others that were in attendance. So as I went back, I was like, okay, they probably handled it. He's not going to be back when I get back. But when I got back, he's still at the window. And that's when things started to get more escalated. He's saying more crazy things to me, throwing up signs and all types of things. So at that point, a couple minutes passed, and that's when the video comes in. That's when we go outside, when the police arrive, and then pretty much the video speaks for itself after that.
So basically, the restaurant basically have kicked this guy out already because
Yes,
he was a problem.
yes. And in that point in time, between then and the police, that's when his clip had fell out, and that's when they knew he had a weapon with him as well.
So he was intoxicated. Just
According to the police, I didn't see any breathalyzer or anything being done that would have justified that, but their conclusion was he was drunk.
he was drunk,
Yes,
drunk with a weapon in 2020, talking about killing
yep,
black folks,
killing black folks.
and that's a problem within itself
Correct,
because first of all, you are drunk, public intoxication.
correct.
That's a problem. But then you have a weapon and you're making terroristic threats.
Right, and it's just what, like a few days or weeks after the Rashad Brooks situation. So, you know, everything's all heated in the city already. So when this happened, everybody's a little more like, what's going on? Like everybody literally, if they had the chance to handle this situation on their own, but they would have. But since that situation happened, nobody wanted any further issues. So we just waited on the police to get involved.
But I also seen while the police was there, the guy kept trying to look like he kept trying to fight with someone else. Welcome to the show, S.A. Al. She's out of Florida, faithful listener. Um, thank you for liking us and following the show. Um, I seen where the guy was trying to fight someone else in the video.
Correct.
Um, now, what did the police do when they got there? That's why I'm curious
So
about.
yeah, so when they got there, they questioned me about the guy. Like, I mean, if I didn't approach them, they wouldn't have known that I was the person that he was the last person that he brought the racism to. But they pretty much asked me, did the guy do anything crazy, make any threats? You know, if he had a gun on him. I mean, at that point in time, I didn't know he had a gun on him until the manager actually brought the clip out. So at that point, I'm like, no, not that I'm aware of. And then we approached another group that was in the restaurant that he approached. And then they told their side of the story as well, which was similar to mine. And then when we got outside again, that's when we found out that he had a gun. Because the manager turned in the clip to them, and then they ended up taking his weapon from him.
So the manager turned the clip in to the police.
Yes, like the manager was all wanted this guy arrested as well. So the manager, it was just a heated moment at that point in time.
So what's the restaurant itself? Were they pretty cool with them? Were they pretty much taking called them out? Well, apparently they did because they
Yeah,
put them out. So,
yeah.
and I actually talked to one of the managers over there today.
Mhm.
He's supposed to be listening to the show. Hopefully he's listening. If you are, say something in the chat for we can recognize you. But like I told him, I said, hey, it's nothing against your establishment.
Not
It's
at all.
basically y'all did not know this guy was drunk, didn't know he was carrying a gun, didn't know he was a racist, and y'all did the right thing by removing him from the restaurant.
Mhm.
Because we hear stories all the time where innocent folks could be just sitting having a good time, then some crazy fool come
Pops off.
in
Correct.
and start shooting folks. And so the police, after they did all of that, they basically did they take the weapon from him, or
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, they didn't send him home with the weapon though. I
okay, they
believe they
didn't
picked
send him
up.
home with the weapon. But see, I have a problem with that.
Yeah,
That's what got me. I have a problem with that because first he's drunk. He been kicked out,
and he's
making
also
threats,
yeah, and then in the video you can see he's also trying to
fight
resist.
somebody else while
Yeah,
the police is there.
and the police themselves they backed up from him. Though. I don't know why, but they seemed like I don't know if it was because of either the moment, what was going on in the city, trying to protect their job, but they just let him throw his vote.
Sound like it sound like he knows somebody in high places where the police wasn't going to do anything
That's right.
because from what I've seen in the world, if that was a black man, it would have been a different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a black man, it wouldn't have been no, oh, you could catch an Uber to go home.
No, you going to jail or you
It would have been exactly, and they would have ran. Would have first thing they would have did was put his background out in the media.
right.
Now, I know this is my first time talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I'm not afraid. I reached out to the city mayor, and all the city councilmen sent them all an email on Saturday.
Right.
And of course, I haven't heard anything back from them.
That's right.
At least want to know what's going on with it. Why did this happen? It probably was one of their sons, a family member, and these policemen know because
I
in
wouldn't
the
be surprised.
in the video at the end of it, I heard one of the officers said, "No, I'm not gonna answer no question" or something like that, or he said, "Don't ask no questions" or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it telling me they know this guy,
Right.
and he
But
knows somebody who's probably up higher up in that city. So
that's
what we need to do is, if you're listening, if you're in the Atlanta area, call this police department. Not the police department. Call the city mayor. Call the city councilman. Find out why this guy wasn't arrested, because I clearly stated in the email he should have been arrested for public intoxication, um, terroristic threat, or something.
right.
Something.
And I even think the restaurant, I'm talking to them, I think they have a no weapon sign on the the entrance door.
Yeah.
I think they have a no weapon sign on that as well.
Well, it depends on if he's licensed or not.
Yeah.
But if he is
Now, if
licensed,
he came in there with the intent and
yeah.
aggressiveness, it's breaking
If
the
he
rule.
if he is licensed, um, he should definitely lose his license to carry.
Mhm.
Um, for the simple fact, you don't need a gun if you have that type of mindset.
Right.
You're
That
talking,
line speaks the truth.
yeah, you're talking about killing folks. Now, I haven't seen a bullet yet that don't that have eyes.
Mhm.
So if he would have came in there shooting, it wasn't just going to hit black folks. It was going to hit several folks in there, and then what's going to happen? It it wouldn't be good.
Right.
So the
Simple
community should be upset about it.
Like I
And
said, the simple fact that they sent him home. There's no telling if he would have came back with another weapon or
exactly,
machine gun. There's no telling.
you send him home. He could have went home, had the Uber to wait for him, get another gun, come back up there, and that's a problem.
Right.
That's the white privilege that I talk about all the time, and some of my guests talk about. For the simple fact that if that was a black person, they the police wouldn't have came up there that calm, because they were calm, and I've seen many of videos where black men walking down the street and they come in there 10 deep.
Right.
I
Stay
posted
all
one.
that down.
Exactly. I posted one earlier where this guy pulled over for a traffic stop,
Mm.
and the cop talking about he had something in his hand and he didn't have anything. They knocked the guy eye socket out and all of this. So that's that's the fact. That's the reason why I talk about race so much on this show. For the simple fact, we need to take a stand.
Correct.
The best way to solve it, if your leaders in your city are not making changes to benefit everybody, vote them out. In Texas, we started early voting today.
Mm.
So go to the poll, vote them
Make
out,
a
get them out of office.
Make a difference.
Um, so have were y'all able to get the guy name or anything, or
So I met with the department last week. I wasn't able to get his name. I'll ask them tomorrow again. And they were supposed to dive deeper and investigate the situation even further, get cameras and get more proof from the people that are in attendance. So I have to give them a call on tomorrow to get an update on that. But when I did go to them last week, they were cooperating with me. They were saying that they'll try to make the situation right for the community, not just for me, but for everybody in the city, because there's no telling what this man could do next.
the only way to?
But I do believe they do have his information, so I have to get that from them tomorrow.
Yeah, they should have his information if they tuck his gun, because they
Yeah,
have to know who the gun
yeah,
belongs.
I believe that.
But in order to make it right, I hate to say it, but these I want to know why these officers allowed them to go like that. And
We still confused.
it could have been a whole different situation if this man came in his restaurant and started shooting and all of this. So that's the biggest thing I want to know, and I want to know, what are you going to do about it? How are
Right.
you going to fix this problem? Because if he is licensed to carry, he need to lose his license,
Yes.
which that won't stop him from getting a gun.
At all.
But at the same time, he need to go to jail for
And
everything he done.
Kelly, in the video also, you can see him throwing up the. I didn't pay attention at the time, but he's throwing up the Nazi sign, supremacist sign as well.
Yeah,
He already knew he had the crazy mindset in him. So,
it's, that's what I don't
and,
understand.
and the cops are right there looking at him.
It, I don't know. It's frustrating.
Yeah,
As a black man, we have counselors on here all the time, where we talk about being a black man, how dangerous it is to just leave your household. Because stuff like this, you're out having a good time with your family and everything, playing pool, and then all of a sudden, somebody threatened to kill you
like
for no reason.
and he kept begging me, "Come outside so I can kill you. Come outside." I'm like, really? But
It,
I mean, if I could have recorded that part, I would have. But I was FaceTiming someone at the time so that they could see it. So I really didn't have the chance to record that part. But if I did, that would have been the nail in the coffin right there.
yeah. Well, once the manager came out and gave his clip back, that should have been enough right there because his clip fell out.
Right.
Where was his gun for his clip to fall out?
And
So,
apparently he had a clip in the gun and an extra clip.
oh,
So the clip that fell was an extra clip.
so he
So I'm
meant,
like, why you doing with two clips on? Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah. It's some questions need to be answered, and I'm gonna follow up with the mayor and the city councilmen tomorrow and find out exactly what's going on. Um, I've sent them all emails on Saturday, and if you are in the Atlanta area,
Specifically
please
Smyrna.
go ahead. I didn't hear you.
The city's called Smyrna. Smyrna Police Department.
Smyrna Police
Smyrna
Department,
Police Department. Yes.
and definitely demand answers because this is a situation we cannot deal with. We shouldn't have to deal with. Um, just going out to have a good time, then you have to worry about a fool that is drunk, having a gun, and wanting to kill black folks. See, that's the problem with. Oh, I said I wasn't going to go there. that's the that's the problem we have when we don't have a good leader, and when our leader turn around and retweet where someone is saying white power.
When you got the devil in charge, his serpents are gonna slide.
See, I'm trying not to go nowhere, but you understand what I'm saying. It's changes need to come. A
Yeah.
change need to come because this don't don't make any sense. And and for them to do something like this, it's like a slap in black people's face. Here it is, a white guy, drunk, with a gun, and y'all let him go and making threats to
And
kill black folks.
literally racist words coming out. I don't want to repeat them, but literally racist terms coming out of his mouth.
Well, hey, it's a free open show here because um, I, trust me, I understand. It's definitely frustrating. I could just
Yeah.
imagine the words that came out because it, man, I don't know. Atlanta, we calling on y'all. We calling on y'all because we need answers. We need answers to know why this is going on, why this man wasn't arrested then. Um, we need to know answer because what you know exactly what date this happened on. You said it was a couple of days after Rayshard Brooks'
Yeah.
death, right?
Let me take a look. I can tell you exactly in a few minutes.
Because what I'm looking at here, it is Rayshard Brooks should be alive today, even though it's different police department, but they're right there together, and
Correct.
he should be alive today because you had two. Well, you had one scary cop refuse to run to chase an unarmed black man, and he felt like it was better to shoot him in the back. But then you have, I think I seen maybe 4 or 5 cops that showed
Or,
up out there,
yeah.
and they talking to him like it's nothing.
And before then, before the video, that was like a whole 10 to 15 minute conversation they were having with him. I don't know if it was negotiations. I don't know. I wasn't outside at the time, but they were at least 10 to 15 minutes there prior to that video being recorded.
Mm. Well, like I said, I definitely reached out to the mayor, and I'm gonna put his phone number out there. Call his office, and ask for some answers. Um, the city mayor phone number is 770-434-6600, and call his office, flood his office with phone calls tomorrow, and ask them for demand for some answers. How can this happen? Why did it happen? So, and if he don't want to answer your question, if you're in Atlanta, vote his ass out. That's the way I see it. Is the mayor's Derek Norton. Derek Norton. So definitely call his office and demand answers. Call the police force. I don't know if this particular city have a community review board, but here in Dallas we do. Oversight board. I'm sorry, police oversight board. That's the name of a police oversight board, where we have some individuals that is not part of the police department, and when stuff like this happen, they investigate it.
Right.
And maybe that's what they need. There is a police oversight board to prevent things from happening and to prevent from stuff getting swept up under the rug. Because I know here in Dallas, as soon as a call go out, each member get a text, get an alert saying something is on, and they go out to the scene right then. They don't wait till
Right.
tomorrow. They go to the scene right then, and that's what most cities need is a police oversight board. So, but other than that, man. So what else? How is the coronavirus going in Atlanta? I know at one point y'all was pretty hot up there.
Yeah, hot again. Hot again. Looks like it's going in phase 2, to be honest. So, I mean,
I'm-
here in Florida, it's just going up over the weekend, actually.
Yeah, Texas is pretty hot. I think I got a message earlier. Here in Dallas, we had 572 new cases today. For the last week, I think we've been going up just for the state of Texas. It keep increasing every day. Houston have started to shut down again.
Yeah, I feel that's coming our way soon.
But we have a governor that follow behind
Trump.
behind him, and he try to do everything he do, and I'm like, hey, our county judge, he made good recommendation because he following what the doctors are saying.
Mhm.
And as soon as he said he want to do like Trump, go on Twitter and have an argument back and forth with him and stuff like that,
Right.
but then he want to settle down. And this last order, well, when we had to stay at home before,
Mhm.
one particular business, and I don't know if you knew about it, but a beauty shop had opened back up early
Mhm.
after
Over in Texas.
after he placed an executive order to shut down.
Mhm.
She opened up early. She go to court. She could have apologized and went home, but she didn't. So she got 5 days in jail, ended up spending 3 because he changed his executive order to benefit her. Then some of our leaders paid her fines, even though Sarah Palin, she came to town.
Okay.
she came to town to support her and taking pictures at a shop and all of this. They paid her fines, did a GoFundMe account. But before all that happened, it was two Hispanic ladies down in Laredo did the same thing. They end up going to jail, and they didn't talk about that.
That's wild.
So, but after it was all said and done, I think she gave them a couple of dollars, and they didn't want to talk no more. So, but hey,
Man, crazy
that
times.
that's the difference in the laws between black folks and white folks.
Indeed.
Because if that was a black business that opened up,
They would have shut it down immediately.
exactly,
Had them
would have put in jail immediately. So um, that's how it is here. Now, I love y'all. I love Keisha. She tell it just like it is.
right.
I'm like, hey, we need her here. um, but yeah, but definitely, um, it really puzzled me about this food. And I keep saying a food because he got to be a food to do something like that. I wish I knew his name because I would definitely put it out there, give him the 30 seconds of fame that he won't.
Mm-hmm.
But after I seen your video, um, later that morning, I end up seeing another video up in Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
that peaceful protest, and a guy just started shooting at the protesters. And that was, I was like, man,
That's no.
one person was killed, and some of the protesters actually fired shots back at him and shot him in the leg.
no.
So, um,
Defense.
exactly, he lucky it was just the leg, but unfortunately, one person did lose their life,
Sadly.
and I want to say he had problems with the protesters before up there, if I'm not
And then
mistaken, the story I read.
got more angry. Probably had a whole game plan on what he gonna do next.
Yeah, now the initial story was um, it was a white guy, but I don't
Mm,
know if that's true because the name was completely different. And looking at his picture, it's a possibility he could be mixed, but he have a different type of last name, a
mm,
Hispanic last name. So, um, but it's crazy folks out here that
indeed.
feel like that's what they need to do. They just need to um, shoot people just because they don't have the same opinion as you, and
That's
that's not the way of doing it.
no, not at all.
That's why we welcome all comments on the show. Um, I'm surprised my partner from UK ain't came on yet. He might still be playing this video game, but well, it's like 3:30. I think he said it was like 3:30 in the morning there, but
No,
he may flip in a little bit. But I welcome all comments, good or bad. I don't care. Um, I'm gonna still sleep good tonight, so it don't make a difference.
correct.
But any other by you being in Atlanta, um, on our past shows, we have actually talked about um, mental illness. Um, I'm sure this probably have caused some anxiety for you,
Mm,
realizing that okay, at first you took it as if this guy was just drunk,
right.
but then once you see the clip and all of this, it's like, whoa,
That could have been gone.
yeah, that can really mess with you.
right.
Um, how are you feeling today with all of this?
I'm I'm calm. I talked to friends and family about the situation since then. Um, it's not as impactful as it was a couple weeks ago. Getting a little better in the mind about it. So I'm just more aware of my surroundings now and who I come in contact with. It's pretty much my whole interaction with everybody now. So
Yeah, definitely got to pay attention to your surrounding. We had some people. on the show that I actually said recommend. Hey, sometimes you just gotta go in pack. Don't go nowhere by yourself.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm hearing stories which we may actually had a person on later this week. Um, in some cities, unfortunately, people just randomly attacking people just for no reason. And
I feel like they're doing something special, something popular.
exactly. So seen this other story Saturday morning where this young man was walking down the street. This happened in Seattle. Walking down the street, and
Mm,
apparently they've been hearing about this white van uh, that attacking people, and also attacked a transgender. Um, and he seen this white van, and when the white van made a U-turn or something,
mm,
talking about, "Hey, don't I know you?" And he was like, "No." So the guy kept walking, and the white guy pulled out a pistol and shot at him. He
wow.
was able to get away. So these are this is the type of stress that we're having to deal with,
Right.
and it's definitely not good for nobody
No.
because now um, when you have stories like that coming out, and if it wasn't by the grace of God, that could have been another hashtag.
Correct.
And um, a couple of weeks, well, last week we had a family on out in Seattle also,
Mm,
where one young lady was killed, and they said it was suicide, but her car was found 3.5 miles away.
wow.
So
No.
that that's a lot. So and my days have really been short because I'm always making phone calls trying to figure out what's going on, what's
Right.
happening. Um, so it's it is draining to hear stuff like this. It's really nerve wracking. Y'all can chat with us while we're doing this on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and we're live on Periscope also. So you can chat with us in the chat. Uh, if you want to talk about something else you've seen in the news, we could talk about that. It doesn't make a difference. Whatever is on your mind, this show is catered to you. Whatever subject you want to talk about, we can definitely talk about it. So, have the protest flowed down any in your area, or
Uh, yeah, it's not. I'm about to say probably since last week it slowed down a little more than it usually was. I mean, that first week was chaotic,
yeah,
chaotic, but our voices had to be heard. So everybody demonstrated a little different and did it the way they had to do it. So everybody demonstrates different. But
yeah,
over the weeks, I mean, since that first week, it's been more peaceful protests. People actually speaking and just trying to get people aware of the laws and different things along the lines that the people that have died have went through and that they shouldn't have went through the law enforcement.
yeah. It's still going on here, and it's not as bad as it was. But
Yeah.
I truly understand what's going on because our next leaders
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that's going to make a difference. And my hat goes off to them for what they're doing because they are taking a stand.
Right.
And some of us have gone through this for a pretty good while, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it's going to make some complete changes this time.
Yeah.
Um, Matter of fact, it was a person that worked in Houston. I forgot her position, but she said that um, made a comment about the protester that was racist, so she decided to resign. Um, what she should. She don't need to be in office,
If
and
you
that's
said something
that's
right.
that's what we got to look at. We have to remove the people that have that small mindset. They say they for the people during election time, but if
Yeah.
they
Turn to a whole nother person.
Yeah, if they policy are not adding up, vote them out. Vote them out. Um, we talked last week about maybe um, terms, the number of terms they can serve. I
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time. I
Yeah.
think we need fresh meat because you get some of these people in there and they in there 20, 30 years.
Those are the
Uh,
same
Need,
issues, making them
need,
worse.
yeah, need to get them out because they making policy based up on what they're used to,
Yeah.
and
And their own
don't
belief instead of listening to the people's belief.
exactly. You got to be able to. You can't be for one sided. You got to be for everybody. You got
Right.
to listen to everybody. And I know my wife and I, we're going to vote Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna go vote Thursday. Make sure our voice is heard, and I recommend anybody in Texas um, definitely get out and vote. Do it early for if you can. Do it early for you don't have to wait in line on the election date. So
Yeah.
definitely do it early. But um, so anything else going on you want to talk about tonight, or um, that the
That's what's
people?
on my mind. I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, say you still confused about what happened a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago, because that would I don't know, and that would really bother me.
Yeah.
Um, I would recommend um, if you can get you some counseling.
Mm.
Get some counseling. Go to your HR, ask them about the EAP program, employee assistant program, and a lot of times you could take counseling for free.
Right.
Your HR may say, "Oh no, we don't have that." Yes, they do. They do. That's the insurance they have to have.
Right.
So um, definitely do it and um, get some counseling, man. I tell people all the time, I'm not ashamed to say it. I've been taking counseling since 2018, and I love it.
Yeah.
If I if I go if I miss a week, I'm upset. So, um,
It's good to
but
get
I
out.
that's why I'm not on social media as much because sometimes some of these stories get overwhelming and it upset me, and then my counselor, I'd be like, she don't drink, but I think I'm gonna mess around and cause her to start drinking one day. So, because sometimes I be so frustrated, I get in there and I'm like, hey, I let her hear everything, and she'd be like, well, I have another client. I went past my time. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to let it all out. I
Right.
have to wait another week before I see you again. I'm
Right.
trying to get a second day, but yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
So
You gotta do.
So definitely, if you listening to us, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. You can chat live with us. Subscribe to the channel on Facebook and on YouTube. Like, share with a friend. If it's a subject that you want to talk about, send me an email who you with kurtdog at mail.com. Who you with kurtdog at mail.com. Or if you leave a comment, if I don't see it on the show, I go back and answer all the comments and I will respond to you. Um, so definitely, if it's a subject you want us to talk about, let me know. Um, And Andrea, where can they find you at? Because I see that you on the front line too. Because I
Yeah.
seen you was out there protesting too, and I appreciate it, brother. You out there protesting, so
Yes,
he's
sir.
not he's not just talking about it. He's out there on the front line, and he's out there with the people on the front line doing what he have to do to try to make a difference. So I definitely appreciate it. Um, let the people know where they can find you at because I seen several videos. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that you posted up.
Got you. On my Facebook, I'm Terrell Jones, and then my Instagram is the number four period I am period ADJ.
ADJ. So there you go. And also continue to follow the show. Um, we have some more shows coming up. Um, I know I've been kind of MIA a little bit. Haven't been on it this past weekend. I had to get my mind right because a lot of stuff came on. Matter of fact, I think I seen the video Friday, and you responded back like five something in the morning. Some
Early the
Saturday,
next morning, yeah.
we're having conversation going back and forth on Instagram Messenger, going back and forth at five something in the morning because I get up early. So when I sleep late, that's about 7:30. So I get up early. So definitely, we're gonna keep in contact, brother.
That's
If
good.
you find out any information about what happened, what they decide to do, um, definitely reach out to me.
Okay.
We'll give an update on the story because this is something that we cannot have going on,
No.
especially in times like this. We're fighting two pandemic. We're fighting the COVID-19 and we fighting racism in 2020. And now we can say three because now we're gonna have to go out and vote in November
The election now.
to get the clown out the office. Um, so
It's
we
the devil
definitely
lie. Boy,
need to do
serpent
that.
starts sliding some more.
Exactly. So he need to go. I don't care. He need to go. I say it all the time. If you are a felon and you have paid your dues, you're not on papers anymore. Go to vote.org. Check your state. Find out if you can get your voting rights back. Find out if you could do it. Different states are different. But if most of them, if you're not paying, if you paid all your dues and you're not on paper, you can vote. You
Right.
just have to request to get your voting rights back. So definitely find out and see. Everyone else definitely registered. Um, I don't. Our laws are made from the local elections. That's where they decide what bills they're gonna do and all of that. So if we get the right people in there, ones that's gonna look out for the community, definitely do it. So take advantage of it. It's your right to vote. And I tell people, some people tell me, well, my vote don't count. Yeah, it count. It definitely count.
Definitely.
Um, it may not count if they did like they did 4 years ago, but it count. So definitely go out and vote, regardless of what anybody say. When election come around, I don't care if I have to be out there all day with a hazmat suit on and some cowboy boots. I'm gonna be out there, and I'm gonna vote. So, but other than that, I appreciate everyone for listening tonight. Um, Once again, if you're in the Atlanta area, please go out, call that mayor, find out what happened, call the police department, see why they didn't make an arrest, and probably 9 times out of 10, we probably gonna find out he's a relative of someone
Yeah,
that is
former
higher up.
cop or something like that.
Yeah, somebody child or something. So normally when it's stuff like that, I know we see it on the movies all the time, but it happened in real life too.
Right.
So trying to make sure they don't get a record, and then eventually what happened, they end up becoming your city councilman or your mayor or something like that, and you don't know half of the things they
Exactly.
done. So we definitely need to know, get no charges on him, for they can make sure he don't get that point. So,
Exactly.
but other than that, I appreciate everyone for listening tonight. We will be back Thursday night, 8 p.m. with Risky. I'm assuming she's gonna be on here. She said she was coming back, so she did. So she should be here Thursday night, and we will have fun again Thursday night. Until then, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for listening. I love you. Be safe.